You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
The Board Game Snobs.
Welcome back.
Podcast. This is Jerry.
Third time in a row.
Ja Rule.
This is Gaby.
This is Enrique.
And we're here to talk to you about things that are of conspiracy in nature.
Greetings and salutations
I have
to
many-
all our listeners out there. If you want to donate to our Patreon, check our show notes.
What?
If you want to rate and review us, please do so on Apple Podcasts and anywhere you listen to this show.
Why are you doing this?
5 stars on Spotify.
What?
Sorry, you got to do it every now and then.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Give us money, please. We're shilling here.
Chilling like a villain.
There is such a thing called a conspiracy theory, which are obviously fact.
Like what?
I won't go into a state park.
We didn't land on the moon.
Because, no, I believe in the moon.
You believe in the moon?
Yes. The moon was made of cottage cheese.
If the moon was made of cheese, would you eat it?
Cottage cheese.
Heck, I know I would. Polish it off with a tall, cool Budweiser.
Thank you, Pharaoh Will. Such as like
Something you said something about state parks. I feel like you were leading us into something.
No, I'm not leading you anywhere. I'm just saying don't go into a state park.
Bigfoot.
Why?
There's stuff.
They don't
there.
exist.
They might. We don't know.
What do you mean they might exist?
There could be something in the state park.
Mites. You get mites when you go to the state park.
I got mites.
Ear mites.
I got ear mites once.
At a state park.
He's always scratching his ears. Do you not see him scratching his ears constantly?
I was on a search. I slept in a tainted sleeping bag and got ear mites.
Taint.
Either way, they're
I've been
very
watching
scary.
Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'm Gordon Holio.
Listen.
TV from my bungle.
I'm trying to help people realize how dangerous this world is.
How tainturous this world
and how
is.
many conspiracies exist that
There
could
is a lot.
possibly be true.
The Twin Towers were exploded. You ever heard that one?
They did.
I know, but it was an inside job.
Oh, you're always... See, look, you don't know. No, I'm talking about deep conspiracies.
Like what? What's a deep one?
Like...
Freemasons? Illuminati? You talking about that stuff? Shh. Did you know, back on July 25...
got your phone back.
2000... July 25, 2001. Blood red rain fell over the Kerala district of Western India, according to The Guardian.
Rain.
Red rain
Okay.
fell over this Western Indian district.
So
Do you know what caused it?
It wasn't holy water, because if it was in Africa, they blessed the rains down in Africa. We're not in Kansas anymore. I don't know. Sorry. Jim Beam.
It's believed that the rainwater turned various colors due to the fact that but first of all,
conspiracy, we don't know.
Blood red rain. Can you imagine seeing that falling from the sky? Like if you're looking up, I wonder if the sky was red.
No.
Like that's apocalypse, like biblical Armageddon. Like the sky is red.
Now.
Apocalypse 2001 is when this happened.
Oh. Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, it's believed. So the reality is not quite that exotic or interesting. due to the fact that the wind had swept up similarly colored sand before it came down with the rain. It's like, oh, blood red rain, the sky is bleeding. Oh my God, the apocalypse. Oh no, it's red sand. That's kind of a disappointing end.
Very much. Kind of like 2012, the John Cusack show.
Well, that wasn't got Noah's Ark at the end.
That was very disappointing.
Crocodiles can gallop like a horse, up to 11 miles an hour.
I don't believe it.
Can you talk?
I don't think they can gallop.
It's what it says. It's likely horses you picture bounding across a landscape, not something scaly and low to the ground. However, a study published in Nature in 2019 noted that crocodiles have the full range of quadrupedal footfall patterns used by mammals.
That means 4 peats.
Meaning that they have the ability to gallop like a horse and occasionally do. Can you imagine seeing a galloping crocodile coming at you at 11 miles per
That's
hour?
a weird crocodile.
I used to run on a treadmill.
See you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
And then gone.
When I was a young man, I used to run on treadmills. The treadmill I used to run on would max out at 12 miles an hour.
Oh.
And I could only stay on there for maybe 30
What
seconds.
did you think you were? Usain Bolt?
Usain, yes.
You think you could run 12 miles an hour?
I could for a short period of time.
Usain Dolt.
It's Usain.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, didn't know. I don't watch the Olympics. I don't. Usain?
Usain Bolt. You insane.
Okay,
Bolt.
gotcha. Sorry. Now that's in my lexicon. Mm-hmm. I am Lexicon Luther. Go ahead. Go ahead. I have hair. Enrique is showing me a picture.
Lexiconder the Great.
Enrique is showing me a video of a galloping alligator. It is insanely fast.
Alexa convict.
That is a
you can show me
that is a fast moving gator.
That's scary.
That
And
I thought we could outrun them.
You can't.
yeah, no,
You only die
Them and
tired.
bears.
Usain Bolt.
because they're ambush predators.
Ambush predators.
So they have to.
Do they make
just
that
stay
whickering sound?
They stay in the water, and as soon as their prey gets close to the water, they just bolt
I
out.
can't do that predator sound.
And they're really fast when they come out of that water.
Like hippos.
Like
Hippos are violent.
Hippos in the
holy
water.
crap,
Hippos
man.
are awful.
And they're morbidly obese.
The hungry hippos.
You would think that.
I got rid of that game.
You're not scared of me, are you?
I'm frightened by your hippo brethren.
Brethren?
What?
Oh my God. 3 in a row. 3 shows in a row he has fat shamed me. He called hippos my relatives.
I did not.
You
Yeah,
are
you did.
awful.
I am.
You're
I'm sorry.
awful.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You walked into it. You walked into it and you baited me.
I should have galloped into it, much like the crocodile. I did kind of gallop into that one.
That's the game they need to remake. Is Hungry Hippos, but do a dark version of it.
Where like all the balls burst into red.
Yeah.
Red Rain.
Your hippos stalking people that are just on the river. That would be very dark. A mature version. Rated M.
Rated M.
Hungry, angry. They could call it Hungry, Angry Hippos. Listen, Prospero Hall, listen up.
What's the opposite of procrastination?
Well, crastination.
Is that a word?
Crastination?
I would assume pro is a prefix. I think I tried looking this up, and crastination is pretty much procrastination. But you would think, if there's procrastination, what would be the opposite? Seems obvious, right?
It does.
Anti-crastination?
Anti-crastination?
Anti-crastination? But you know what it appears to be?
What?
Precrastination.
Procrastination. I get what you see there. The action of delaying or postponing something.
Which is something I excel at. I'm a pro at procrastination.
Crastination. Yeah. What is precrastination? The opposite of procrastination.
They say it's like when you do things too quickly, like jump to conclusions.
So you jump to conclusions. It sounds like they're both like giving your thoughts on. Yeah, it's like
like premature.
yeah.
You would think it's pro. Everything. Usually if there's a pro, then there's anti. I'm pro rondelle, you're anti rondelle. I'm pro cornflakes.
Procrastination.
You're anti cornflakes.
It just sounds like you're like either for or with Bryan Cranston. Like either you like Breaking Bad or you don't like Breaking Bad.
I'm anti Cranston Nation. Cranston Nation. That's his fans. That's what they're called.
The Cranston
We are Cranston Nation.
They keep having meetups and nobody shows up on time.
They're fans.
they don't show up.
They're fans of his podcast.
And all the ones that hate them show up early. They're like, where's Brian? We hate Cranston.
Oh, thanks, Cranston Nation.
Oh, that's a great joke somewhere in there. If somebody would dig through that. What did you say?
So shout out to Cranston Nation. That's what we should call our fans. Snob Nation.
Snob Nation. There's a lot of people who do that. They
I know. It's like they just take whatever it is and put
Barrage
Nation.
Barrage.
There's a show I listen to.
Barragers.
I don't know what they call their listeners.
That's not a
The
Triple X
BGBers?
website. Barragers, isn't it?
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know.
Barragers?
Barragers, like board game barragers.
Brazier Nation?
Braziers? No. Towersers.
There's a show out of Dallas that was the Kid Craddock in the Morning Show was a radio show.
You talk about it a lot.
No, I'll talk about Jason and Friends out of
listen.
Austin. Anyway, I used to listen to Kid Craddock. He died of like a heart attack or something.
R.I.P.
Tragically, yes,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. But his fans, Kid Nation. So lots of people do put the nation after something and say that's our fans. So Snob Nation would be the easy thing. I think we go by Snobadellos, but realistically, we refer to them by their names because we're
personal,
intimate with our
personal
listeners.
Nation.
I'm pro personal.
We do people's names, even though we don't always get their names right. We do mispronounce names.
Speaking of which, go ahead. Enrique wants to speak. Go ahead.
So what was the name? It was K-I-N-D, and then what was that?
Oh, Matt Kind.
Yeah, it was K-I-N-D-T.
The creator of Mind Management.
Oh.
Yeah.
K-I-N-D-T.
Kind. So
that's not...
Go ahead. No, because we were trying to discuss of like how we would pronounce kind.
Treat everybody kind.
We read that email when you were eating your rangoons in previous episodes.
But yeah, we mispronounce names. And like one of the worst things that I remember was like my dad, he listened to a lot of female artists growing up, like a lot of music. Mm-hmm. So he liked Whitney Houston and Franklin.
Aretha?
Aretha.
Not urethra.
So I, as a young child, misunderstood that. So I thought her name was Urethra Franklin. That joke that you made years back on this very podcast. Mm-hmm. And so for a long time, I thought that was her name, Urethra Franklin, until I was like in the 4th grade and was talking to a friend of mine, and we ended up playing one of my dad's little cassette tapes because I had a Walkman because I found one. And I said something about Urethra Franklin. He's like, no, that's your pee. That's where your pee comes from, Billy. I was like, oh, thanks, Billy. Which, that was very...
Who was Billy?
Billy was a friend of mine.
Oh, Billy.
And Billy was nice because he helped me in names, and I helped him by letting him know that jean jackets were no longer in style. And so, like... Cause
he's pro names, anti-jean jacket.
You ain't Ray Cyrus, Billy. So you just got to stop. But yeah, did you have a jean jacket?
I did have a jean jacket. I had one.
I did too. And I got rid of it.
You know where I got it from?
I wore it once. Goodwill.
Bill's Dollar Store. In the irregular section, one sleeve was longer than the other.
Well, you have one arm.
But it was much cheaper.
You have one arm longer than the other.
I do.
No, I have a leg longer than the other.
Most people do.
Not most people. Mine's an inch and a half longer.
Really?
Yes. I have a hip.
So you're not strutting. That's just your leg.
That is my leg.
I thought you're always like doing your like pimp walk.
I'm not pimp walking. That is I have an actual medical issue that causes me to walk as an individual who is, as some say, pimping. That is not, I didn't choose that. It chose me.
Huh.
And I don't mean to walk that way. But I go to a chiropractor.
Walk this way, as Aerosmith says.
And a lot of people don't like chiropractors. But I do.
I like chiroplasty.
So I go there and have my
volcanoes
and put in place chiroplasty.
Joe versus them.
I have no idea what you're talking about besides that obscure Tom Hanks film.
Chiroplasty is when it blows up and all the crap is coming down the mountain.
Is it?
Yeah.
Coming like an avalanche? Coming down the mountain?
Yes.
Really?
It's like mud and trees and everything.
Pyroclastic.
I believe so.
Very interesting. Another conspiracy.
That or it's a herd of chiropractics falling down a mountain.
I don't believe in volcanoes or volcanologists. Period. I think that it could be caused by something else. Have you ever seen a volcano?
No, I have not.
But yet here you are questioning me.
I'm asking why though.
I'm just saying. It sounds a little sus to me. Like the earth has GERD. It's just gurgitating up hot magma. And that makes islands. For real? FR? For real?
We need to rewatch Dante's Peak.
No.
I can't find.
We need to rewatch the one volcano with, what's his name? The guy from The Missing.
The Missing.
From The Fugitive. Not Harrison. What's the other guy? Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like Tommy Lee Jones?
That's just Volcano. I used to, but he's kind of one note. Just cranky old man.
Well, cranky old man works.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Tommy Lee Jones, Lonesome Dove.
Okay, yeah, I get him in that. Was that him and who's the Duvall?
Robert.
I like Robert.
My wife would leave me for Robert Duvall.
I like Robert Duvall. He can do cranky old man, but he's funny cranky old man.
I would leave me for Robert Duvall.
As one should.
He is Robert Divine. He is a wonderful actor.
I thoroughly. Is he still alive?
He's not R.I.P. He's not R.I.P.
Wow, he must be very old by now.
He is very old, but he is not R.I.P.
Okay, I'm trying to find what is the stuff that comes out of volcanoes.
Magma.
Stuff.
Hot magma. And sharks with laser beams attached to their head.
Volcanoes. Okay. Y'all talk amongst yourselves while I'm looking up
Enrique,
pyroclastic.
let's have a conversation while Gaby looks on his phone to find his personality.
All right, then.
Would you say
Look at him.
here recently
that
you've been doing anything interesting?
Recently?
Yes.
Within the past few weeks?
Anything you found fascinating?
Like, I've been getting into darts recently.
You have. I got you into darts.
Yes.
I am literally the best thing in your life because I introduced you back into darts to show you the precision that is required.
Because I think you taught me when we were at my house having a gathering.
Because you have a pool.
Yes.
It's been 118 degrees. So I have been at your pool. You can feel free at any time to interject here and tell the fans about how great I am at water volleyball in your sports pool. You have a sports pool which it's deeper in the middle than it is on the sides.
Yeah, it's very funny when people just try to like move around in that deeper end.
Correct.
And they just like slip.
Why does your pool angle downwards on both sides towards the middle?
I just said it's a sports pool.
But that doesn't for volleyball specifically.
Yes, for volleyball.
So the people in the center are not supposed to be able to like jump up and spike.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so people mistake that my 5'9", 5'10" height, I wouldn't be good at volleyball.
You're not that good.
They, I believe
I tend to dominate you every time we've played so far.
What are you talking about?
I was there. I dominated you.
No, you didn't. I won every game. No, you did not.
Actually, weren't you both on a team?
You won every game.
You know what I was going to say? I meant to say this.
I cannot believe this.
I meant to say this on the previous podcast. The lens and through which Jerry views reality is so fascinating, and that like reality doesn't like Jerry just bends reality to his point of view, and that he always comes out on top and wins.
Can I bring something up?
You lost every game.
No, I didn't. Can I bring something up?
Yes, you did.
Can I make a point here that's
right,
factual?
okay, go ahead.
Completely factual.
Go ahead.
You can't remember what you ate today. You have a terrible memory, and you're telling me that you remember what you don't remember nothing.
No, I do.
You remember everybody. No, you don't.
You don't remember anytime you lose or were wrong.
You don't remember anything.
You don't.
Everybody knows.
Does he remember anytime he loses or was wrong?
this fight. I'm having this conversation with Enrique.
I didn't-
You can stay out
Are
of
we
it.
fighting?
Thank you.
Are
Stay
we
out of it.
fighting?
Enrique, tell me about darts.
He
Tell
got
me
very
about darts.
upset when I
during-
dared to mention he might have lost
I
something.
didn't lose. I
You
dominated.
lost.
And you can ask Bubba.
No,
Ask Bubba.
no.
Ask Bubba. I am the king of water volleyball.
I dominate you every time.
You can barely get into the
Weren't you
water.
on the same
I've
team?
dominated y'all. We won every single game.
My physical prowess dominates you in every aspect.
physical prowess.
Please.
Because when I joined in, it was you two on a team, and I know you guys won basically
Hey,
every
wait,
match.
we were on the team most of the time.
Yeah.
We dominated.
Yeah,
You're right.
We dominated.
Yeah, you guys were
We
both on.
beat you,
It was
Enrique.
you, Enrique.
Suck it.
It was basically a 3-man team, and everyone knows it.
We dominated.
It was a
I just
a 3-man team.
You have Jerry's physical prowess and my physical prowess. You didn't stand a chance.
It's like the Infinity Stones.
Oh my God.
Bro, it was
gallstones.
basically me. It was me and 2 other guys
Snap.
defending that entire
No,
ball.
it was me and Jerry versus 3 people.
Yes.
Yeah,
And we
2
beat
against
you.
3, and we won.
Relentlessly beat you. I couldn't even.
I cannot find the freaking phrase. The stuff when a volcano erupts and there's this avalanche of mud, ash, lava, trees, and crap. It's called something. I feel like it's pyroclastic.
Just make
something.
up a name.
It's that. I can't find it. I've Googled. If you know, email us boardgamesnobs@gmail.com. Sorry. I can't find it. I'm tired of being on my phone. I had to interject into this conversation about water volleyball because I freaking love volleyball in all water, land, air. I'll take it in all forms.
Air volleyball?
I'll take it in all forms.
Is there an air volleyball? Oh,
Just
land
a
volleyball.
regular volleyball.
Yeah, that's right.
Land, sea, and air.
But I inspired you to get into darts because I myself am.
Because,
right.
because
Why?
you watched
Became
me
darts.
just like do this like
Yes.
pathetic
You
little like
have
throw.
you have a pathetic.
Well, you have
throw.
a hard time grasping bowling balls. Do you have a hard time grasping the dart?
No, as soon as
It's very dainty. His fingers.
he taught me, I was hitting.
You hold it
the
like a
bullseye.
pen.
No,
No, you do not.
How do you hold it?
you hold it with three
Three
you know,
fingers.
Which
hold it-
fingers?
These fingers and then the thumb.
All fingers but the pinky and the thumb?
Yep.
And the thumb. You got all 3 fingers on it. Thumb pressing against it.
So in total, 4 fingers.
And 3 fingers
no,
and
I'm
a thumb.
sorry.
Your thumb is not a
No,
finger.
no,
Your
I'm
thumb's
sorry.
not a finger?
No,
I don't
no,
think it is.
No, no.
I don't count it as one.
No. It's these. Is it these?
But it's a
Hold on.
phalange.
Oh no, it's these.
Okay, it
these
doesn't
3
matter.
Fingers.
Nobody cares.
These 3 fingers.
But you're enjoying darts.
Yes, I'm still practicing.
Are you increasing in your skill?
Hitting that little white door that we had as a background less. There's a lot of holes now.
You're getting on the actual
Your thumb
board.
is no.
That's not a finger?
Well, no. Your fingers have 3 phalanges. Your thumb has 2 joints, the phalanges.
Yeah.
So the phalange is the joint?
Well, I mean, your
Yeah, like-
phalanxes, I think is what's called.
Like how many times can you?
But your thumb is unique, so technically it is a finger, but it's different. It's odd. Anyways,
I'll be darned.
I can't find what your
I'll be
volcano
darned.
trash is called. It's that old woman from Dante's Peak who pushed the boat.
Yeah.
Grandma.
Unnecessarily. They were there at the dock.
R.I.P.
They're already there and she hops out.
So darts are big in Britain, so you will be very big in Britain if you win and become
Is
a
it
professional.
very big in Britain?
British people love darts. They love it. That's up there with fish and yeah, that's cricket, which is it's like weird baseball and rugby.
It's baseball with a flat paddle.
It's a flat paddle. They love darts.
Okay.
Oh, flat paddle. Bam, blam.
And then,
Flat paddle.
and then I started getting back into bowling a little bit.
You are.
Yar.
Yar.
Tasha Yar.
Tarsha Yar. My daughter is still devastated by that.
What?
So
What?
I introduced my
The old
kids.
tar monster got her.
Yes, I introduced my kids to Star Trek. We started watching the first season.
Yar turns into tar.
And about 3 episodes in, my daughter's like, I love Tasha Yar. And then all of a sudden, my son's like, who's your favorite? Is it Worf? Is it Data? No, Tasha Yar. And I'm like, oh my God. And then finally we watched the episode and I sat there and watched the black goop monster kill Tasha Yar. And of course they assume
she's going to come back somehow. They're going to fix it.
No.
She
Devastated them.
She did.
Several seasons in, Tasha shows back up as a Romulan, completely confuses them. We had,
It was quite confusing.
I've had, it was a very long talk in our household about Tasha Yar coming back.
I've forgot how she came back as a Romulan.
Cloned. They found her. I think they cloned her. Which is obviously what happened.
Sure, yeah.
She come back. Ellen DeGeneres played her or something as a Romulan. R.I.P. Ellen.
No, it was the same woman.
Oh, was it? Was it Crosby?
Yeah, Denise Crosby.
I almost said Bing Crosby. Oh, man. Speaking of conspiracies, we just played a game, a great game. It's an old game from the 70s called Conspiracy, the Solomon Gambit by Restoration Games. It is a game that Gaby purchased a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away and set on our shelf of opportunity for quite some time. Obviously, we purchased this game for a reason. And what was that reason, Gaby?
Space Biff wrote a review about it.
Spacebiff.com.
Dan
Thoreau, who came on our show once, ghosted us. Space ghost, coast to coast.
He hasn't ghosted us. We haven't asked him back on.
He's never talked to us again.
I text him on Twitter.
You do? On Twitter?
I do.
You text on Twitter?
I Twitter him.
He's my favorite.
He's excellent.
I love him.
He's an excellent writer.
He's an excellent writer.
As is We're Not Wizards.
.com.
Check it out.
Richard writes.
He's got a blog.
Dick Simpson.
He blogs.
He came on the show.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Haven't listened to that episode yet.
I speak very highly of you the whole time.
If I listen and find anything to the contrary, I will be sending a strongly worded letter to the Scottish...
Send it to boardgamesnobs@gmail.com.
To the Scottish Embassy to let them know that I have been besmirched by a wizard. Either way, Conspiracy is a very odd game where you're playing as your own... I guess, what are you? Spy companies?
You have a spy involved, but you use all the other ones.
No, you don't. You don't have a spy involved.
No, they're all...
It's interesting that you just completely don't even know how to play the game. We just play.
Well, then why do you have the money on the sovereigns, my bad? Why do you put why do they have you put sovereigns on that one person?
That's not your spy, because obviously you don't control them.
They're all paid. They're all hired.
But then why do they hand out? I agree.
Oh,
why do they hand out?
Oh my God!
Why do they? Why do they hand out?
Listen.
Why do you get that one person in the beginning?
It's just the setup. It's called the setup.
But why? There's got to be a reason.
You start with something.
Start with
Yes.
Why start with anything? I mean, you could just
you start with something. So your first
you have someone specifically.
As I said, you have someone specifically that you have the most money on at the beginning
that you're invested in.
That you don't start the game with making the same move each time, which is invest money.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay.
Because
dear God help me.
Sorry.
All right. So now that Gaby has finally realized how to play the game that we've just played.
That I won.
You won because I mistakenly had a miscommunication with my dear friend Enrique.
You led Enrique.
I led Enrique astray.
Wildly astray.
And of course my humility is enough to admit that I even told him, Enrique, I'm sorry. I led you astray because you stuttered and miscommunicated. And
It's your fault. It's your fault.
Clearly.
It's your fault.
And let me know, I would have been able to instruct you on how to win. But unfortunately, you didn't.
So anyway, in this game, there's a collection of spies, and with these spies, you are basically doing a tug of war with this briefcase that you're trying to get back to your headquarters.
What's in this briefcase? What's in the box?
You open it up, and just a gold light shines upon you. No one knows.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous one are beset on all sides by the tyranny of the wicked and the iniquities. I can't remember the national line.
So you use these spies on the board to move Samuel Elliott.
Yeah.
You move Ezekiel Elliott.
That is a tasty burger.
Elliott. So you use your spies to manipulate this suitcase down to your headquarters to win.
To win. You're trying to get the suitcase to your headquarters. By utilizing these spies that are basically freelance spies. You have to pay them sovereigns.
And so for your action, you can do one of 4 things.
This is enthralling.
You can add sovereigns to your spies.
Correct.
You can add sovereigns to
Solomon sovereigns.
Or you can
move them. I swear. Why do you do this?
What's the 4th one?
You burn them. I do not know why you insist. You gripe at me every time I try to explain something.
Well,
and then
I start off with good intentions.
No, just stop. Essentially.
Good intentions pave the way to hell, Enrique. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Now you know.
Now you know. Conspiracy is a game of hidden bets, is what I would call it. Because behind your player screen, you're putting money on the various spies that are out on the board to show what ones you kind of control. And so you are secretly, kind of like, reminds me a little bit of Coup, where you can make an action and have the card or not have the card. It gave me that kind of feel. But this was much more deeper because each spy has this little special maneuver that they can do, which is basically either traveling around the board faster, moving other spies around, or moving the briefcase around. And while you are manipulating these spies by placing money on them, if any of the players at the table, when you declare what your move is going to be, such as moving a spy from this location to that location, they can challenge it. And then they say how much money that they have on the spy. They kind of bid on it. So if they have 5 coins on the spy, they can say, 1. And then you have to say, if you have more than 1, you say 2. Or you can't bid more than what you have on the spy. And you're not really bidding. It's a very pseudo Reiner Knizia type way of, like, you're not bidding, you're not spending money, but you're just declaring how much money you have on the spy.
I was going to say, I don't quite understand thematically all that stuff.
What it is that Sovereign is showing, the money, which is called sovereigns in the game, is showing how much control you have over that spy. So you're telling the spy to go here, and you have 5 sovereigns on it. But I'm telling the spy
Got 5 on it.
Not to move. And I have 6 sovereigns on it. So obviously I have more control over them. So they're not going to move. So instead of thinking of money, if you think of it as control, there's a very interesting aspect of the game where you burn a spy, basically eliminating them off the board, where you spend X amount of money to basically annihilate this spy. They're no longer in the game, which is a big move. Happened twice in our game. This game is, I don't want to call it a hidden movement game, even though
it's not hidden movement. I kept saying it's just tug of war. It's tug of war. There's a back and forth with the suitcase. Everybody's fighting over the suitcase. The way you use the spies, I found it highly entertaining in the fact that you are working for your own ends. Like, yes. You're trying to get this suitcase to your headquarters. Is that what they call it in the game? Headquarters?
Yeah.
You're trying to get this suitcase to your headquarters. Jerry was one space away. And Jerry and Enrique conspired against me, conspiracy. Once Jerry was one space away, me and Enrique started talking very openly. I was like, Enrique, you need to do this, this, and this. Enrique's like, you need to do this and this and this. We worked together to burn the spy that Jerry was using.
Burn notice
that spy. It messed Jerry up very badly. So, like, you're working to your own ends, but if you see someone about to succeed, you have to conspire against them.
So this is a 2 to 4 player game.
That's why the name conspiracy, I was like, why is it called conspiracy? Because you have to conspire, even though it's not, like, in secret. It's very open.
And on that note, it being a 2 to 4 player game, I don't think this game would play very well with 2 players.
What conspiracy would there be?
I think between 3 and 4 players that's where it's at.
Because when you guys were fighting each other, I was nice and buddy with both of you.
Correct.
For the longest time because I was doing the long game.
And then you took off with the suitcase and I told Jerry, you got to burn him. And Jerry did.
Yeah, so interestingly enough,
I freaking love this guy. I'm just going to say that.
I'll say this. So Space Biff liked it. You bought it. It sat on our shelf for a long time. I looked at the rule book and just, you were
kind of dismissive of it, as was I. And so then I was like, well, Jerry acted like he read through it. And so, like, it sat on our shelf unplayed because we were uninterested in it.
The reason it sat on our shelf unplayed is that it reminded me of another game called Estriel. It's a spy game. You remember it was like way back in the day where there's multiple spies on the board. They all do different things. It was very, very... it was a very popular game. For a while, I even had an expansion, but I hated it. I mean, literally hated it.
You're not talking about the dice game.
No. I'll show you a picture of it. It's a big yellow box. It's called like Estriel 1940-something. It's a weird-looking game. Anyways, I didn't like it. Conspiracy kind of reminded me of it, but then once we started playing it, and this neat little, I keep referring back to it as kind of being a Reiner Knizia type mechanism because it seems like it's bidding, but it's not. You're secretly putting money or sovereigns that represent control behind your player board on these spies, and you're controlling them. They each have their little bitty movements that they do. But the fascinating thing is, as you get the briefcase closer to your base, everybody in the game turns against you. So literally, right off the bat, Gaby almost won the game. Gaby rushed it to his base.
I was one space away.
And we, of course, stopped him. Me and Enrique got together. And Enrique took off with the briefcase back to his base. But his base is close to mine. So I allowed that to happen. And then me and Gaby conspired. And I ended up burning the first spy in the game, eliminating the spy that Enrique had invested so heavily in.
Vagabond.
Yes, which was crazy because the spies all have code names. The spy that Enrique had invested in was named Vagabond, and he said Bond Vagabond, and we laughed, and we keep laughing about that.
James's poorer brother.
James homeless brother.
I'm Bond.
Vagabond.
Vagabond.
But I did.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have any change?
But I did like how there was two distinct ways of winning this game.
He's still a winner with the ladies. We'll have to go back to your place. I have yet but a cardboard box from Harbor Freight.
Did you know Monty Norman, composer, 94 years old of the James Bond theme, passed away?
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
He did the down the barrel.
Sorry, Enrique, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine.
Enrique, you don't have to let people walk over you.
Vagabond.
Say, you know what? You're right. You did walk over me, and I need to apologize to you.
Hey, next time he says
I apologize, Enrique.
Say, don't let it happen again.
I won't let it happen again.
I say that all the time to people. Don't let it happen. Well, like if I go through like a drive-through and they're like, "Sorry, sir, it took so long." Don't let it happen again. And it's comical. I mean, it's like you'll be doing something and people will be like, "I'm sorry, but we don't let it happen again."
Classic Jerry.
People call it, "Sorry for bothering you. Don't let it happen again." And I laugh, ha 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 ha.
Enrique, go ahead.
But I did like.
Did I interrupt you?
Yes, you did. Go, Enrique.
But
don't let it happen again. Say it after me. Don't happen. There you go.
Say yes. Don't let it happen again, Jerry.
Okay, but
he's too kind. He's too kind. Matt kind.
But I did like how the game has two distinctive ways of winning. Either you can win immediately, just rushing the briefcase to your home base, or you can take the longer but more riskier chance of having the end game with Solomon.
And the end game is after 20
No,
rounds.
Because
he won't be able to explain.
I won't. I didn't know. Were you done?
It's very complicated.
Throwing it to you, Jerry.
Thank you. It's very complicated. So after 20 rounds, at the end of that round, you start rolling a dice, and you have a 1 in 6 chance that the game will just end. And after the end of that game, whoever has invested the most in the Solomon
persona,
which is the name of the designer.
So, and two of your actions are you can donate an infinite amount of money, however much you want, to any spy, or you can donate one to Mr. Solomon. So Solomon, you can sovereign to Solomon. So whoever has the most to Solomon, if you happen to roll that die when his thing has reached the end, blah blah blah, instant win.
As I was saying before you interrupted me.
But you were.
Don't let it happen
I filled
again.
it in. I filled it in. I didn't apologize.
Well, you didn't. I'm not. You don't have to apologize. I'm just telling you.
I'm
Don't
not.
let it happen again.
I'm not.
Don't let it happen again.
I'm not.
I'm saying. See, that's how it's done again.
So there's things.
Established dominance.
There's three
Show
things.
them the back of your hand.
There's three things I liked about this
Your
game.
very small hand.
There's three things I liked about this game. One, I like just it's tug of war.
Oh, tug of war.
Yeah.
It's tug of
Which
war.
we know you enjoy.
I'm very good. I'm an anchor.
You are pro tugging.
I'm a pro tugger.
The last time we played tug of war,
I'm an anchor.
you just haul it.
Basically, I fall backwards. We win.
They call you the Rock of Gibraltar. They will not move. Thou shall not move, and you just lay back, and nothing
tug
can
of war.
move you.
Okay, I'm the tug of war.
Gotcha.
Two, I like the hidden money aspect of the sovereigns and you putting, like, you have to. It's funny. So you're going to delegate most of your money throughout the game to, like, a few specific people because you want to win those challenges. I had put one sovereign on one spy just randomly because I was like, that one sovereign won me the game in a challenge by Jerry because she was the only one that was near my suitcase at the end. You won't understand this unless you play the game, but if you have played the game, you will understand.
And if you have played the game, you shouldn't listen to this podcast.
Yeah, but we enjoyed it as much as you, hopefully. I also,
And if you don't enjoy it, you're wrong.
This is my thing. That freaking player aid that's on the thing that hides your board has everything, all
The
player
shield.
aids.
The player aids.
Player aids. Every game should have
You're big on aids.
player aids. Yes. I'm big on those. Every game, it's clearly written. These are your actions. This is what can happen. This is what the action. This is the spies that you use. These are their abilities in the challenge. Like everything, I'm big on aids.
I know. There's a great aid.
I'm pro AIDS.
This game is really good. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Good.
I'm shocked by how much I liked it. I think it's great 3-player.
I think it took us all by surprise.
I'm surprised. Like most conspiracies.
Yes.
I generally, as everybody knows, there's somebody I work with who is always going on about conspiracies, and to upset them, I always go to the most extreme other direction of the conspiracy just to upset them. Whatever it is, I'm contrarian to him to make him mad. Because whatever the conspiracy
You just
is,
like making people mad.
I enjoy it thoroughly. Don't let it happen again. But I enjoy it thoroughly upsetting people. Why, you might ask? Because I have issues, and my issues are not readily resolved without conflict. And I like conflict.
You do like conflict.
And you can't have conflict.
Except when we're fighting over rule books.
You were unable to drag that rule book out of my claw.
Oh my God.
I had
that was the most. I wish I had that on
But
video.
yet, what
that was
happened?
Jared.
You tried to
No,
grab that
I
rule
won.
book out of my hand.
I won.
No, I had it.
I conceded.
You did.
I conceded.
You did. You gave up.
Because you know what?
Word?
You know what?
What?
Because I'm the reasonable one.
You're the bigger man. That's
I'm
If anyone's going to be a reasonable one, it's going to be me.
the reasonable. No,
Yes.
between the two of us, I'm the reasonable one. He is extreme.
Please. I don't give up. Don't mistake.
Between both of you,
you're
Don't mistake my
extreme.
extremism.
You're an extremist.
That is resolve. I do not give up. When it's time to get a hold of something, you get a hold of it, and they pry it
Okay.
from your cold, dead hands. And I had that rule book. I was reading it, and Gaby decided to try to wrestle it from my tight
I
phalanges.
did not.
You tried.
didn't he
No,
grab?
He grabbed
no,
it.
no,
Grabbed it.
no. He
no.
placed the rule book down, and I grabbed it. And Jerry acts like every rule book out of any game is exclusively his.
Because I think you had it like
I'm
this,
not
and then he
talking.
went for it, but then you
Enrique,
kind of snatched
Enrique.
it back, didn't
I'm
you?
like, you know what?
Don't let it happen again.
Here's what I found out. I realize
You do realize.
I have a hard. I end up yelling so much on
You
this podcast.
yell a lot.
But
I don't know
need
why.
to.
I think it's only toward Jerry.
I don't do anything. Do I yell?
Jerry, you literally just admitted that you
make
loved
me
conflict.
Exactly. Thank you, Enrique.
What? Just because
So
I
here's the
enjoy
thing.
conflict doesn't mean that
Jerry-
you have to engage in it.
Jerry thinks he has exclusive rights to every rule book. In fact, if we're playing a game and I dare to pick up the rule book, he'll say, "What? What do you need it for? What is it? I can tell you. What do you want out of there? I can tell you the rule." Like, he freaks out when anyone
You do kind of freak
dares
out.
to pick up the rule book. And I'm like, I have just as much access to this rule book as you. He is a rule book Tyrannosaurus Rex. Anyway.
It seems like you have a problem.
No, you're the one with the problem.
it's
If I
something-
touch a rule book, you freak out.
I'm sorry.
That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Gaby.
This is Jerry.
This is
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.